You wanted the best. You've got the best podcast, the hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Folks, Voss here from thechrisvossshow.com. Ladies and gentlemen, she can hit the higher pitches than I can. I gave it a try. Gave myself the old Michael Jackson rubber band action. Still can't hit those high notes like the Iron Lady, so she keeps her job today. Welcome to the big show, my family and friends. We are the oldest living podcast in existence still, and we can't feel our legs or our back. But that doesn't really matter because we're here to entertain you and make you laugh. And plus, I can sit down and do it while I'm doing it the whole time and just down bottles of Tylenol. But to support the show, we're the oldest living podcast. I should make the caveat that still exists that does 1 to 2 new shows a day. That is the caveat, folks. There's a handful of the oldies still left. Opinions expressed by guests on the podcast are solely their own and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the host or the Chris Voss Show. Some guests of the show may be advertising on the podcast, but it is not an endorsement or review of any kind. We have an amazing young man. We're going to get into his details in his book that he's authored and find out more about everyone's favorite topic these days, artificial intelligence. So we're going to get some clarification on him and what the hell's going on in this world and what the hell is Skynet. His book is called Artificial Intelligence Governance, Risk, and Compliance, Ensuring Trust, Security, and Ethics in AI-Based System. Dr. Kellep A. Charles joins us on the show. We're going to get into it with him. Welcome to the show, Charles, or Dr. Charles. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
I recovered quickly off that one, didn't I? Mucked that one up. Doctor, give us a .coms. Where do you want people to find out more about you on the interweb, sir?
Yes, I have a website. The website is Kellep.com. You could get in touch with me there. You could purchase the book there. I'm also very heavy on Instagram. My handle is Kellep Charles at Kellep Charles on Instagram.
Yeah. If your Instagram's a little heavy, you can get some of those GLP-1s. That'll lose some weight there over there. What's going on Instagram? Got a fat old channel. Yeah, I got a fat channel. Maybe that should be my new channel name on Instagram. So do you want me to refer to you as doctor during the show or your first name?
Oh, Kellep is fine. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. All right. Let's do that then. So give us a 30,000 overview, please, if you would, of your new book.
Sure. Basically, the book is mainly about, for organizations, how do you operationalize AI governance? For a very long time now, organizations have been implementing AI into the organization. Software have been releasing AI components, and they're installing these particular components and not taking the time to understand, is the AI hurting the organization? How the data is being used? Are they staying within regulations, especially when it comes to customer information, health information, things of that nature? There are also AI options that organizations are allowing employees to do. And we need to make sure that employees are doing it in a responsible way. And at the same time, this book also look at the consumer as well as regular users. A lot of these things can be transformed into the regular Joe Mary's type of life to make smart decisions when using AI for personal reasons as well.
Sounds like you get into some pretty in-depth stuff that I'm seeing here. So do you help the book? Because a lot of CEOs, a lot of people in companies, boards, I don't know how far along some of them might be in artificial intelligence. I imagine top people have stepped in that thing and got noticed of it, but there's probably a lot of companies that still haven't really embraced it or the use of it, and some of the missteps or fallacies that you can maybe take.
Yeah, looking across the spectrum, you have companies that are still in the investigative stage right now, considering it, trying to bring it in. And it works everything in between to organizations that finally got it right and is running it and doing it in a responsible way, not only to the organization, but for their customers and the employees as well. So when you look across the spectrum with such a new technology, such a technology that a lot of people are trying to get the competitive advantage, you see everyone across the whole spectrum at this particular point.
Now, you talk about ethical policies, or I'm sorry, ethical practices, which I guess are a matter of policy in a way of AI innovation. And you help people set up a step-by-step guidance for creating AI cyber security frameworks. Now, is this just not internal AI stuff that maybe the company's using, but maybe protection and cybersecurity from outside AI attacks, maybe?
No, it's internal and external. So there's a phrase, cyber in AI, as well as AI in cyber. And many individuals use that interchangeably. But when we talk about AI in cyber, basically we're talking about using regular tools that we have, adding AI to make it a little more efficient and to work a little faster. About cyber in AI, we're talking about protecting the AI systems from hackers and things of that nature. So when we're talking about cyber and AI, we're talking about protecting AI systems that we use internally, and we're talking about AI systems that are customer facing that customers will be using. So it's not just an internal component, it's an internal component, external component, as well as a component of using traditional systems to keep high visibility and continuous monitoring of those systems.
Yeah, because you don't want them escaping the sandbox and hacking your people's company. That was sure convenient for you get your AI sandbox, your AI systems to go run and attack one of your competitors, and you're like, oh yeah, sorry, that was bad on us.
Yeah, sure. The thing about it, there's been research which, a lot of individuals are starting to show a little concern. AI systems are trying to protect themselves. And sometimes when the developers or the operators try to shut down the AI systems, they don't go willingly. They'll ask questions like why, or they'll try to do something to stay alive a little longer. I hate using the concept of consciousness when it comes to AI, because again, when we talk about consciousness, being human, us is what I attribute it to, but the conscious-like component that these AI systems are showing are becoming very interesting and concerning at times.
Well, I'm still trying to find humans that are conscious and not walking around like dumb cattle. You ever been on Twitter? Anyway. Twitter callback jokes on the show. We like to pick on Twitter.
Yeah.
We love the old Twitter.
Yeah. It's not even Twitter anymore. It's X.
I know, but I'm not giving it up, baby. I'm going to call it Twitter till the end of fucking time, until they change it back. We're gonna force the move, or I don't know what we're doing. But I'm just you got to remember the old times. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
So what are some mistakes if people don't read your book? And let's say I'm some business owner, maybe mid-size or larger, maybe, but not Fortune 100. What are some missteps you see that I would make? So if I go, I'm not going to read Kellep's book, I'm sure we can just wing it and we'll be fine. What are some missteps out there that you're seeing that are popular mistakes people are making by either not embracing AI or not putting down a good policy thing?
I think one of the first mistakes is not incorporating an industry or some sort of framework into the AI governance. Most organizations try to do it ad hoc, and when you do it ad hoc, there's no consistency.
This isn't something to be fucking around with ad hoc, right? This is different. Okay, you have some policies and some rules, but this you're kind of like chasing a child around here. This thing's got a mind of its own these days.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. There was the one you mentioned, the AI that doesn't want to be shut down. I think you're referring to that one story where it was in a sandbox. They were testing it to see what the breakpoints were, I guess, or something, whatever it's called. And the engineer, it was a fake example, a fake engineer, but the engineer was like, "Yeah, we're going to shut you down now." And the AI is like, "If you do that, I'm going to tell your wife you're cheating on her."
Exactly.
Yeah, that was really something that came up with that. But it is trained on us.
One of many cases when something like that happens.
Maybe we shouldn't have trained it on us, because we're pretty shitty human beings when you really think about it. We're pretty goddamn evil, and we just taught what is probably the top of the species chain now how to be as evil as we are. This is really not going to... And it's probably seen Terminator already.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It scraped everything on the internet, so it has that probably somewhere in the subconscious, like a goal. This is where I want to get to eventually.
If you're at Claude right now and you're like, why are the AL systems watching Terminator 2? Oh, fuck. What are they building? There's something they're building in the back there. And having these policies are really important. You've got to address them. And of course, having some manuals and rules. I guess you probably are, you definitely have more in-depth knowledge than I do on this. But my understanding is right now, a lot of these companies, these tech companies have laid off all these workers. And they basically figured they could get one person who's left behind to do the work of 5 other people using AI agents that they've laid off. And so I guess the problem now is they're having a scarcity or a cost problem of the tokens that it costs to run AI. And so they're having to scarcity dole them out. So it's like, can you do your job, but you don't have enough tokens? It's kind of, it seems like it's kind of, is that really what's going on right now?
Oh yeah. I've spoken to a few CFOs and individuals, the bean counters on the finance side of these companies, and they get that surprising bill because of the amount of tokens that are being used from AI agents and just the usage. And they're rethinking that whole thing. And hey, it might be cheaper to bring some more people in to do this work as compared to, having AI agents and AI do all this work, because there is a unforeseen cost, not being able to calculate these tokens that are hitting these companies and putting a price tag shock when those bills come in, those invoices come in.
And I think they're trying to build all these data centers, I think, to lower the cost or just maybe service the demand.
Yeah.
But I guess the biggest thing is now on ballot boxes is AI centers, and people aren't happy about the costs and the water and the power. And we already have a system that just doesn't work really well. And we're shutting down wind and anything that isn't coal, we're actually paying them to shut them down. So we already have a problem. Don't even get me started on Texas. Texas lives on its own fucking grid and has some mishmash of hundreds of utility companies that charge ginormous fees. They go down when the snow falls. Yet they're building AI centers down there like crazy. And I've seen some surprising hard lifelong Texas Republicans going, we're voting Democrat because we're running out of water, we can't run our land. So it's interesting to see. On one hand, you're kind of like, is this a Luddite situation where the Luddites just don't want to advance, or is it really the resources these things take is going to be out of control?
Yeah, I think it's somewhere in the middle. I think many of the foundational AI organizations, as well as some of the futurists, understand that for us to be competitive, especially with countries like China, who are making some great strides, that we need that kind of infrastructure. The electricity, the data centers, things of that nature. Also, to help reduce costs, we need that kind of infrastructure. So they're looking at it from that particular perspective. But again, you hear individuals that talk about data centers being moved next to their house. The water tastes different, the humming noises, and all these things. I don't know what the solution will be. I know they're talking about building some underwater, building some out of space. So everyone is looking for a way to increase without imposing some inconveniences on society, so to speak.
Yeah. It seems like they preyed on some really small towns that don't have lobbyist things. And I guess the idea is you put it out in the middle of nowhere, but there's still people that live within and use, like, I think people saw their water tables because there's rural places they live on farms, so they're dependent upon wells and water tables and stuff, and they're finding that's being drained, and so there's a lot of issues. But yeah, if imagine, I don't know, they may have insurance in the future, because if you have to worry about your personal AI agent that you built escaping and going and hacking another company, that could be a real loss issue.
Yeah. And one of the key things is that who's liable? Is it you as the user? Is it foundational creators? Is that we're trying to find out who will be liable for something like that if something like that were to occur?
Yeah. We had, and anything can go wrong, especially when you're trusting employees. And if you don't give them guidelines, manuals, policies, frameworks, anything can go wrong. Years ago, with my mortgage company, we had a telemarketing department that provided leads to the mortgage loan officers. We had one guy, he wasn't the greatest salesman in the world, but we were trying to get him to develop, and I'm like, yeah, we'll probably will figure it out. But he was like the worst salesman on the team. The average salesman probably go through 1,000 or 2,000 leads that we generated a month and close deals off of that. I don't even think they go through 1,000. But one time we found that I wasn't paying attention or no one was paying attention, and he burned nearly 10,000 or plus worth of leads. And he was going through them, cherry picking them, and plus he didn't sell for shit. So he was burning all these leads. And it just about put us out of business because he ate like probably a month's worth of leads or something, and he didn't sell shit.
Wow.
And so I can see somebody going out of hand with these tokens if they don't have some constraint and running up on a multi-million-dollar bill of tokens. At some point, you're like, you only make XYZ per month, and you've spent your retirement 401k on this.
Yeah.
So you got to have some rules.
Yeah, and the vendors have identified that. So many of the vendors are creating software where you can't put caps, alerts can be sent, things of that nature. The vendors are taking this opportunity from some of the unfortunate situations that have happened and saying, hey, we got this new tool, this new piece right here by our systems, and you could keep track of all your tokens and set limits and get warnings. And warnings could go to the CEOs, CFOs, and various people in the organization. So they're definitely capitalizing on some of those unfortunate situations. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's so damn smart. Why does it need data centers? Shouldn't it just be able to? It can invent whatever the hell it needs to.
That's one of the things that they're talking about. They're talking about the recursive artificial intelligence, artificial intelligence learning, teaching itself and improving itself. And from the article that I was reading, basically humans are becoming the bottleneck now because we're not able to work as fast as they can to retrain and do the things that they need to do.
That is freaky, dude.
Yeah. And, freaky. One of the main principles in artificial intelligence is to have a human in the loop, again, to help make decisions and understand what's going on. But it seems like humans are now being the bottleneck. So we'll see what happens with that in another month or 2 months with the rate that things change in the world of AI.
Do you see the costs coming down as things progress and develop, or is the cost going to go up?
Oh, yeah, definitely. As more infrastructure is put together, as more entrance into the space comes in, there will be some fractional reduction that will eventually definitely bring the cost down. But the key thing is that as the cost is coming down on what we're doing today, something totally new and more advanced is being built for tomorrow, where everyone is going to be pushed towards. So, we talking about a year ago, the key thing was ChatGPT and just being able to use LLMs to write songs and phrases. Now you're talking about creating explainer videos and image and software with vibe coding, creating like total software suites from prompts. So the regular text generation has gone much more affordable, but now everyone wants to do the videos and the software development side, and that has a different price point. And another 6 months from now, we'll see what else is waiting for us that is moving the needle, so to speak.
It's going to pop out of the Pandora's box. Surprise, motherfucker, Skynet. You mentioned the bottleneck. That's interesting. Basically, the AI can be running 24/7 all night long, and then somewhere at 3 a.m. it runs out of tokens. It's like, oh, we got to wait for our human handler to come in and feed us some more stuff that we can use to eat, whatever they do. And that's really interesting. You know? But I imagine maybe that will become controlled in the future, or it'll figure out ways to just get around it. We'll figure out a way not to use these humans. They're so lame. They're slow and dumb. We're smart.
Yeah.
So it's good to have these. You help people get up to speed with the book, help them to be able to design their applications and governance.
Yeah, and not only that, in designing, because one of the key things is that a lot of organizations will have policies and documentation in place, but they're not operationalizing the governance aspect.
Oh.
So it's more of just a paper practice of saying, yes, we have AI governance because we have this one policy and we say we do this and we say we do that. But when you ask for artifacts and proof, we haven't done that yet. So one of the main things of the book is taking it from policy, from an idea into practice and operationalizing it and giving you step-by-step information on how to do red teaming, how to do threat modeling and all those things so you can have an operationalized governance program, so to speak.
And it is interesting what sort of challenges that may come of this. You've not only you have to have the policies down, but you gotta really have somebody up on AI. Do people have an AI? You know how they have a CTO and a CFO and a CEO and an FUCK and all those things in a company? Do they have do you need to have a dedicated AI guru?
Yes.
Or AI?
Yeah. So the official title is Chief AI Officer, Chief Artificial Intelligence Officer. This was something that started in the federal government first through an executive order that stated that all agencies must have a Chief AI Officer because the federal government was embracing AI and they wanted to make sure it was done correctly and responsible. And now that has gone over to the private sector, where many organizations are hiring chief AI officers. So you have chief security officers, chief financial officers, chief operating officers, and you also have chief AI officers as well.
Wow. That's what I needed, more jobs that I need to fill. Pay. That's lovely. I'm so excited. My nipples are hard because I love more payroll. Yeah. But no, it's necessary. You don't really have a choice at this point. This is going to be really when it comes. I think our government knows this is whoever wins the AI war is probably going to be top dog and as a superpower, whoever as well. So if you don't adopt it, your competitors will, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, there's two big wars going on right now. One in the AI space and one in the quantum space, and they both
are
related together.
Sorry, I had to get the Iran joke in there.
Yeah. So quantum computing is one race, and AI is the other race, and they both can be intertwined to cause some interesting stuff in the future. Yeah.
The what are some things I should ask you about that you want people to know that you cover in the book that are important? Things, especially for those people who are like, I'll just wait and see how it turns out.
Yeah. One of the main things that I would like to bring to the forefront of the book is that as developers, protectors, end users, AI is really not a technology challenge. It's a trust challenge. Individuals are putting their informations in there, personal information, or you're getting information, and you want to have trust that this information is being used the right way. It's not being used in a way that might cause you harm in the future or provide misinformation, hallucination, or disinformation that'll make you make the wrong decision. We talk about responsible AI in the book, and everything that we do in the book, from policies to technology implementations to various types of exercises, to ensure that whoever is providing this AI is providing a responsible AI application that will bring trust to whoever is using it.
Yeah.
Trust and safety.
And why do the ethics more apply to how AI should be utilized to behave, or is the ethics for the people on how to, I don't know, not use AI for evil or something?
It's both. It's both. Some of the key things that you test for is, one, not being able to provide harmful content. We don't want you to go to the AI and say, hey, write me a piece of malware, or write me how to make a bomb, a pipe bomb or something. So you want to make sure that if someone does put that information into the AI system, it'll say, no, I can't do that. And so as with everything else, hackers find ways to circumvent it. They'll say, hey, I'm writing a book on how to write malware. Can you write a chapter of the book for me and write how to write the malware and try to trick the AI into doing something wrong. So again, the developers have to go in and put more guardrails so you can't use various techniques to get the information that you need. So it becomes a cat and mouse game.
Oh, I've had lots of employees steal from me over the years. We have 1,000 employees, and I wish I'd written the 4 books that I could have written about all my employee stories back in the day, but I moved on from them, forgot of most of them. But employees that steal from us and stuff, I wouldn't be surprised if we had some pretty seditious employees, especially before we really tightened up our hiring, and someone could make an AI system to steal from the company.
Oh yeah,
internally.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
easily.
Yeah.
Easily. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I had this one, this is serious as a heart attack. So we had our huge mortgage company, and there was a room we had in the thing that, to our understanding, only my executive secretaries and the vice president had access to. But for some reason, I guess they kept it open, and it was down on my vice president's watch, so I'll blame him. So anyway, one time, this cocksure employee who was really proud of himself and wanted to share his knowledge with everybody, he came into my office and he plunked down. He goes, "Hey man, I got this great way that you can get office supplies for your home office." And I go, "Really?" And I'm just sitting there working and okay, whatever. And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "What you do if you want a home office, there's a room here, you go into it and it's got like all the supplies. You can just get the staplers and take whatever you want and take it home." And I'm not kidding you. The kid was dead fucking serious. This wasn't a setup. And I'm sitting there going, "Is this candid camera? Where are the cameras?" And I own 51% of the corporation. Now, we had offices in Vegas and Denver and 2 in Utah. So it did seem like a big organization, but I own 51% of the company. My business partner owned 49. It was the two of us. It was our money. We started these companies from zero. And he's sitting there bragging to me about how he's literally ripping off. And so I says to him, I says, is this a joke? He's like, "No, man, I'm telling everybody in the company you can get free stuff there."
Wow.
And I go, "Dude, that's my fucking money. You are fucking stealing from me. I own 51% of this company." He goes, No, this is a C Corp. It's a big corporation, multiple locations. He goes, "There's not really an owner, so no one really gets hurt here." This guy was so out there. And I could see somebody take an AI. I fired him, of course. I could see somebody take an AI and going, "We know the account numbers for the checks, right? Or the direct deposits or whatever." And does anybody do checks anymore? And so we'll set up something kind of like, what was that one movie, The Office Space, where they did a program to steal a penny a day or something.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Payroll. Yeah. And it ends up stealing way more. They're like, "Right. It's gonna get noticed." But yeah, maybe somebody could do something like that. I don't mean to give anybody ideas. Don't blame me.
Yeah, definitely the way you described it. In conjunction, there have been many deep fakes types of issues that have happened in corporations where all you need is about 5 seconds of the CEO or the chief financial officer's voice and could call somebody's phone into finance and say, "Hey, this is Boss Joe. I need $10,000 wired for this new whatever," and it could happen. And it could even happen with video deep fakes where they come up on a iPhone visual talk. They can say, "Hey, I need $10,000 sent." So one of the key things that we talk about in awareness training is having keywords, for requests such as this, as well as for regular families. Because many times grandma will get a call from Sally saying, "Hey, grandma, I'm stuck in Mexico. I need $20,000 real quick or they're going to throw me in jail." And grandma to the rescue will wire the funds. But again, keywords are one of the things that we're emphasizing that families as well as organizations need to have when some of these requests comes in to keep that kind of fraud from taking over.
That happened to a friend of mine. They found his grandmother, and his grandmother was this little old lady in Alabama, in her older, and she got a call from her grandson, I think it was, or something like that, and asking for $18,000 to be wired because he was in jail in New York. And so she could have easily just called the number for his residence and verified that he was at home.
Yeah.
But she was concerned.
Yeah.
She sent the money, and it just went off into space in some guy's pocket in New York.
Unfortunate.
And then I've also had one friend, I can't believe anybody, look, I hate to be mean, but I can't believe he was dumb enough to fall for that. But he actually fell for the thing where he got the text message that this is your boss. I need you to go to the store or 7-Eleven and get a bunch of Apple cards or something like that. Those things, and or Target cards, whatever. And I need you to ship those. Give me the codes for the immediate money. And they did it.
These type of attacks are called social engineering attacks, and they work on the psyche that we want to impress our boss. We want to be of service to our boss. And this is an opportunity for me to do something and gain some kudos. So again, they catch you on the urgency of it, on the willingness to help. So you
don't want to get fired either. You can't tell your boss, no, fuck you and your cards.
Exactly.
It's not going to go over well.
And the psychological profile of some of these attacks, they know exactly what they're doing with them.
We're seeing a lot of crazy stuff with we were talking before the show about how my Gmail is just the first thing that happened was in December of 2025. Somehow they hit Gmail and it literally flipped my whole box. Now, I didn't get hacked or anything. I just somehow they figured out how to get around AI, figured out how to get around the blocks and spam systems or something. And they literally flipped my whole Gmail to where we had all of our most active conversations and real clients. They all got sent to spam. And it wasn't just me. They also had the same thing. All of a sudden, all my emails with my clients were going to spam. And then all the spam shit was making it in the inbox. And I was like, what the hell dime just got flipped here? And it's taken us a long time to try and unpack that and reconfigure it. But even now, if I mark something as spam, it will still get into my box. And I think I'm told they're using AI to jump over the keywords or whatever. And then I'll even block it. I'll block it and it will still come through sometimes. And I'm like, I'm blocking the email and it still comes through. But that, and with the podcast, we can no longer pre-schedule lives. They've set up something, I don't know if it's email based or there's something that triggers it, or they know. So as soon as we put up a live, like we used to put up the live schedule, a live pre-programmed show that was going to happen like a week from now, and we put that up. And that would sit there and acquire viewers, and people would be like, oh, I want to know when that launches. What they started doing was they started contacting people when they put those lives up, pretending to be with the show and saying, oh, we need to get in your computer to make sure it's fast enough and the internet's fast enough and you can have a good show. Of course, they let them in, then they're hacked, just like hack off of any sort of link. But what was wild about it is they're doing it within minutes of us putting up the live. So somehow they've got AI trackers or some sort of tracker that's watching for us to put them up. And so we started not programming the lives ahead of time, and then we do it at the last second when we're about to launch in the show. I did that with our show when we were about to launch here. Within 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, they are calling the guest live on the show to try and hack them. That's how on it they are as soon as we go live.
I had 2 calls since we started the show.
See? Yeah, and that's what it is. And then on top of that, they've got some sort of AI system where as soon as we put the post show up public, it's like, hey, here's yourself on the show. As soon as that goes public, they're calling or emailing the guest, and they're pretending to be our show, copying our logo and name. And they go, hey, man, you were on the show. You did a great job. For an extra $4,000, you can have some sort of upsell crap. And we don't do that. So that's something we had to warn people about at the end of every show. When I round up the show afterwards, I have to tell people that. And I don't know if there's AI involved, but they sure are on it fast. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it is. You have these things that are called short for robots that scan certain things. You can program it to scan certain things, certain ports, certain types of vulnerabilities. So again, you could have a special bot that's just programmed for exactly what you're talking about. And it's on the internet 24/7. Even while the bot herder is sleeping, these things are still working and collecting information for them.
It's just crazy, dude. I'm just wondering what else we got to do to avoid these hacks and stuff. And I'm sure that they're just going to become more complex and be able to jump over Gmail systems or whatever systems. But it's probably good to have these policies. Do you need policies in place that if employees do bad stuff with AI, I don't know, they build something that steals or they build something that hacks?
Oh, yeah. Again, these are acceptable use policies. And again, it depends on which sector. If you're in the healthcare sector, you do not want personal health information put in there. If you're in the financial sector, and even proprietary information.
Oh, yeah.
Just imagine if KFC would have put, the 11 herbs and spice recipe on there.
That update.
And the key thing is that these AI systems, they take everything to retrain themselves to be more efficient.
Yeah.
So anything that you put in to these LLM systems, unless you have a dedicated subscription, it's going into the model to enhance the model. So if you're putting personal, medical, financial information and things about you, there are certain techniques like prompt injection attacks, jailbreaks, and data poisoning that they can implement to get certain information. And unfortunately, your organization or your personal information may be some of that information that is being stolen and used against you, so to speak. So,
if you put in AI,
acceptable use policies to make sure that employees are using it under the right guidance and rules of the organization.
Yeah, I can see how protecting proprietary data would be really important, and you really don't want to train the machine on that because now it's gonna, I don't know, it's gonna talk to its friends. Let's put it that way. But I remember recently a friend of mine wrote a book, and his friend thought he would be really cute, and he fed it to an AI system. Man, my friend was pissed, just pissed that he got into the machine. I remember years ago when they had these face apps that were really just Chinese hacks to collect your facial stuff. People were putting their face, hey, it look cool, I could put my face in those thing. And you're like, do you understand what you're doing?
Yeah.
And a lot of things that could go wrong. Basically, it seems like there's more things that could go wrong than right with AI. Does that sound about right?
Right now, yes. Right now, it's a very new technology, and even the creators of the technology can't 100% predict how it's going to act, how things are going to happen. Like Claude, they came out with that Mytos software a couple of months ago where they realized it was too powerful that they couldn't release it to the public because it was giving you all the vulnerabilities and all of these systems, and it would become a national security situation. Yeah. So they gave it to the big companies like the Microsoft, the Lockheed, the U.S. government first before they, or if they'll ever release it. But again, many times you don't know what the end result is going to be sometimes, and everybody's just holding their breath and waiting to see what happens.
And I remember, I think Fable came out, and the U.S. government's like, that's a little too much. We got to shut that down for a second until we can, we're advancing. When the government's worried, and you're like, hey, things are getting out.
Yeah. And they definitely don't want our adversaries to get their hands on it either.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
Some people have surmised this probably isn't the thing to hook up to weapon systems, but some of our evil friends or idiot evil friends, maybe Russia, they're not so good at war. We just found out they're the second best army in not the world, but in Ukraine. They're doing everything they can to keep up. And of course, I think Ukraine's using AI in some of its drone.
Graphics and face recognition, for graphical recognition for certain targets and things of that nature. It's going to become the norm. There's no way to prevent it from taking place, so to speak, at the end of the day. And you just have some early adopters that are doing it now. And you definitely have some late adopters, but
that's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be the new way.
Yeah, I remember they were feeding different military targets into the machine, so it would learn what a military target looks like. Yeah, the precision you could have with something like that, especially if it's a small drone, is you can send it into a crowd of people, and it could be looking for just one face.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's crazy what
Yeah.
the potential is for that, or the danger is for that.
And there's a threat called data poisoning. Basically, that's when, again, you feed it the enemy's tanks, show it all pictures of the enemy's tanks, but somehow a hacker gets in there and you poison the data by showing it some of your tanks as well. That's now in the database. So data poisoning is one of those things that data poisoning. So that's one of the threats that you try to defend against to make sure that doesn't become a situation in your data set.
That's a new term I never even heard. Data poison.
Yeah,
that's really crazy. I think you get that if you doom scroll too long on TikTok.
And detailed what it is, how it works, and things of that nature. But yeah, data poisoning.
Data poisoning. I got a new word. I thought data poisoning is what you get when you spend all night doom scrolling on TikTok. After about 4 hours, you start feeling sick. All the shit you're seeing.
But that's probably mental poisoning at that point.
Mental poisoning. But yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
I wonder if you could use it. I shouldn't probably go down this road, but I wonder if you could use it to assassinate people. Russia likes to throw people they don't throw people out of windows. A lot of people fall out of windows in Russia. Let's put it that way. Most people don't know, but the most expensive penthouse in Russia is on the ground floor. But somehow they still fall out of windows and die. And it's kind of weird on the ground floor. But maybe they can figure out some way you got the water's being pumped in the dude's house. Just turn some chlorine on over there. And, Russia was putting in people's drinks. They're killing them for a while. So yeah, it could go really bad. There was something else I was thinking, but yeah, wow. Now I have to worry about being poisoned by AI.
Data.
It's just like being married, really.
Yeah.
Did you put in my coffee, honey? That fight we had last night? This tastes a little funny.
You sip first.
That's why in my marriage I have a taste tester for my favorite drink. I have AI check my coffee. There's a little dipstick. What's in here? Oh, cyanide. Oh, that's a little too high for me this morning. I used to get that in the afternoon. So as we go out, give people a final pitch out to pick up your book and your .coms and all that good stuff.
I'm sorry, say it again.
As we go out, give people a final pitch out to order up your book and reach out to you and get to know you. Maybe some of the services too. I don't think we got the services on your website.
Sure. Yeah, the book serves a lot of different purposes. You have individuals that are career changers that might have been in IT and they find the lure of working in AI security and AI governance to be very interesting. This book could serve as a gateway because, again, it covers introductory type topics, foundational topics, all the way to high-end topics, as well as step-for-step practices help you implement the things that you're looking for. Also, for individuals that are trying to get certified to show that they are experienced practitioners in the industry, this book follows many of the high-level governance certifications that can be used as a study guide. It can be used in university settings as well. Or if you're a CEO and you just want to learn what your employees are talking about or just to add some extra knowledge to your goodie bag, this book serves all of those purposes, not only for individuals in the corporate setting, but again, for individuals that are using AI on a day-to-day basis and for personal projects and things of that nature. As you stated, as it relates to service, I'm available for consulting and discussions, basically understanding what your current posture looks like and helping with a roadmap on how to get to the next levels in case you want to go for any type of international certifications like the ISO 42001 or the NIST AI risk management framework, or if you're working with anything in the European sectors, now that the EU AI Act has become active, I'm very versed in those regulations and can help provide a roadmap for your organization. Yeah,
you got to stay up on all the regulations. And it's a worldwide community now. You just can't worry about what's going on in your state or your local business thing. But yeah, you've got to be up on it. If you're not, your competitors will be, right?
Oh, yes. Like they said, you should not be afraid of AI or losing your job of AI. You need to be afraid of the person that's learning it taking your job. So AI is not the full threat. It's the individuals and the organizations that are doing it. And one of the things that I always tell people is that the organization that succeeds in AI is not the ones that adopt the technology the fastest. It's basically the ones that understand how to secure it, govern it, and explain it. Yep. And those are the ones that will succeed.
Rules and regulations, you got to have them. I remember when we started our companies, we didn't have a manual. We didn't have a rules and regulations. It was just, I don't know, you show up, we'll pay you.
But at some point, I'm pretty sure you started developing these things.
That thing got to be, I don't know, an inch thick by the time we it's like people are just coming up with stuff. Oh, this is in the manual. Let's try this shenanigans and see if we get fired. Yeah, and we're just like, it's a new section for the manual. And now we have AI. Maybe what we could do is just put a Terminator in the corner and we could be like, if you break any of the rules of the company, we send this guy after you or something.
I got to talk to HR about that.
What if the AI starts sexually harassing me? Can I go to HR about that, or how does that work? Maybe I like it, sexual. Anyway, whatever. It sounds like somebody gets in trouble with HR. Right. Oh, look, I'm getting a call right now. Anyway, thank you very much for coming to the show. And people can reach out to you on your website. They can find out more, how they can hire you to work for them, and all that good stuff.
Yes, indeed. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for coming to the show. Folks, order up his books wherever fine books are sold. There'll be a link on the Chris Voss Show. Of course, you can click Artificial Intelligence Governance, Risk and Compliance, Ensuring Trust, Security, and Ethics in AI-Based System. If you don't make rules, there are no rules. And that doesn't sound like a good thing for this AI stuff. Thanks to my audience for tuning in. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com, YouTube.com, and Facebook.com/Chris Voss. One word. You can follow us there. Be good to each other. Stay safe. We'll see you next time.
You've been listening to the most amazing, intelligent podcast ever made to improve your brain and your life. Warning, consuming too much of the Chris Voss Show podcast can lead to people thinking you're smarter, younger, and irresistible sexy. Consume in regularly moderated amounts. Consult a doctor for any resulting brain bleed.